Now, after learning about gender, number, adjectives, superlatives, adverbs, and comparison, we are going to do the following exercises. So, come with me and look at these texts. Un elefante es más pesado que un ratón. This is an unequal comparison. Más que. That's the formula. Pesado, in this case, it's an adjective. We learned about this word. El águila, right? Águila was one of those misleading words that ends in an A. Nevertheless, if we say las águilas, it's a feminine word. So what happened? Why do I say el águila? That is a matter of pronunciation. I cannot say la águila because it's very hard for a Spanish speaker to pronounce two vowels that join together. In the following example, we're going to learn about the placement of the adjectives and an adverb. Look at me at this text. La abuela cocinó ricamente y saludablemente, rico y saludablemente y ricamente y saludable. When we have two adverbs and one end in mente, we cannot say mente twice. We cannot say ricamente. We cannot put the mente before. We definitely need to put a mente at the end, so it's going to be sí. La abuela cocinó rico y saludablemente. In the following example, we're going to make a comparison of equality. We are going to use the formula tanto como. Can you help me? Los padres jugaron béisbol peor que los hijos. ¿Sí? They are worse players than their kids. In this one, we're going to use a comparison of inequality using superlatives. Let's see the example. Los padres jugaron béisbol los hijos. We know that it's not menor. Tanto it could be, but you will need a como. Mayor doesn't make sense. So, in between tanto and peor que, los padres jugaron tanto béisbol como los hijos, it's a different order, so you have to use peor que. And it's an unequal comparison. Okay, in the following example, Eliana tiene más muñecas. So we're gonna compare a number. And we're gonna compare a number and it's gonna be an affirmative comparison. So we're gonna use de las que. If it were a negative comparison, you have to use de las de. Doña Josefa corre más rápido. She's faster de lo que sus nietos creen. You use de lo que because it's a comparison of equality. In this one, you are comparing height. You are comparing an adjective using the word menos or más. Anita es menos alta, so you're going to need to use que. Anita es menos alta que Elena. If it were a comparison of equality, it will be Anita es tan alta como Elena. In this example, esta familia es grande como la mía. If you're comparing sizes in this case, you're comparing this adverb, you have to use the formula tan. Esta familia es tan grande como la mía. In this one, we're going to use a superlative comparison. It's unequal. Eliana y Esteban son. Las más no, because it's feminine, masculine. Más cómicos no, because we're trying to say that they are the funniest one. You can use menos, you can use más, las más. You have to use los más cómicos de su clase. In this one, you're going to make a comparison using adverbs, comparing speed and elegance. Let's see an example. Eliana y su hermanita patinan. Rápidamente no, because elegantemente ends with mente. Rápidos doesn't work. So, rápido or rápida. When you have two adverbs, you're going to prefer the feminine form. Elianita baila. Las más is not going to work. El más. So you have your options are Elianita baila las más elegante o más. We're not trying to say that she is the more elegant, right? Elianita baila la más elegante de todos. If you would want to use más elegantemente que todos. In the following example, we are going to compare, or we're going to say that in grandparents' house, there are always as many cookies as ice creams. So we know that we can use tan. Tan muchos doesn't make any sense, doesn't even exist. So we are left with the option tantos or tantas. Galletas is a feminine word. So this adverb has to agree with galletas. Siempre hay tantas galletas como helados en la casa de los abuelos. In this comparison, we are going to be equal. So, you have negative and affirmative words here. Algún, cualquier, ningún. So, ningún doesn't make sense. Algún doesn't make sense. And we are left with cualquier and cualquiera. So, if it's persona, you're going to use cualquiera. No, it's an exception. If it's persona and it's a word like cualquier, you shorten the word and you put cualquier. You said cualquier persona and not cualquiera persona. Eliana y Esteban son estudiantes. In this one, let's see our option. This has a mistake. Norteamericanas doesn't work. The North America kind of works, but they're trying to make us use the adjective in this case. Norteamericanos. La abuela de Josefa es. In this one, we're going to encounter something different. Mujer grande, a big woman. Una mujer grande doesn't make sense because it will have to end in this. Una grande mujer, we will have to shorten this. So our options are una gran mujer o una mujer grande. Since there is no un here, la abuela Josefa es, this is our option. La abuela es una gran mujer. She is an exceptional woman, not a big or large woman. Las notas de Eliana son mayor que is for age, mayores que, mejores de. It will be for a negative comparison. So if it's an affirmative comparison, we're going to use that. Las notas de Eliana son mejores que las de Esteban. La abuela a los nietos. Ustedes no saben. This is a general abstract noun, so it can be any of these. ¿Sí? Lo importante, ¿qué son las tareas? De is for negative, que is for affirmative. Lo importante, ¿qué son las tareas? Abuelo, ¿estos cuadernos son tuyos? No, no. This doesn't work, so it has to be lo. That is a neutral pronoun. Dani caminó ayer. You don't need a definite article there. This doesn't work because you have to shorten the adjective when you put it before a noun. And para doesn't even make sense. It has to be por. Dani caminó ayer por primera vez. And in this one, abuela, todo oí ayer es una gran mentira. La que doesn't make sense. De, todo de is not a comparison. So we are left with que and lo que. We need a neutral pronoun there. Todo lo que oí ayer es una gran mentira.